Look at her, she's driving it.
On the road.
On the road. Alright, let's see how she does working the gearbox. Good. Good. Slow as a sharp turn. Might need to retard the timing just a little bit. Good job. Good job, girl. Look at her. She's putting trim on. Little impromptu of an evening project. She's doing all the work. I'm just watching. Okay. It's a lovely Saturday. Birds chirping. Sun shining. I got some cleanup to do here. It's going to be a busy weekend this weekend, so I won't have much shop time. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is tidy up a bit. I've got quite a mess here. Well, I did work on my little trike chopper. I think I'm going to put something here so it's got a Springer looking front end. Is my idea. And I might do an oil tank or something. Other than that, I think I'm about done. I really don't like the rear wheels. I don't know, I might study on that a bit. But in the meantime, let me clean up a bit. Alright, kind of located my workbench there. You know, the messiest workbench in all of YouTube. You know what I need to do? I need to finish putting that motor together that I started who knows when. And then I found out I didn't have the right rings. I bought the right rings, but I ain't never put it together. Which is a pretty rowdy 283 sitting right there. I was knelt down over here a minute ago putting stickers on. You know what Mrs. Heavy said to me? She said, "You're getting so fat it'd be quicker to jump over you than walk around you." Well, y'all can see what's happening here. I just cleaned up the messiest bench in all of YouTube. And somebody's filling it up. And there's some pretty nasty pistons. I think them are 396 pistons. But it's been a while since they were doing any good work. So in light of that,
artwork.
in light of that, I am going to take care of some nickel and dime stuff I've been needing to do. I need to crawl under the dash of this truck. I don't have any dash lights and the fuel gauge don't work. I'm wondering if I got a ground wire problem or a ground problem. I need to figure that out. And there's a few other things I can't remember just now, but it'll come to me. Well, I got a flat tire on the Firebird and need to fix that. And probably some other stuff. Let's see where the day takes us. Hey, why are you welding into my coffee cup?
Oops.
Looks like she's doing a spring sculpture. Here's something somewhat interesting. Those tires were cupped real bad. So I switched them side to side so that it would wear the high side of the cup off. I bet we drove that truck 150 miles and it's about gone. I bet you these tires don't last 10,000 miles. Be good for the mud, not good for the highway. But let's go down and see why my Firebird tires are leaking. Alright, here's the trouble. See there? It's leaking around the bead. Sometimes you drive it, it fixes it. Sometimes not. Now what I need to do is pull the thing up there, take the wheel off, break it down, clean up the aluminum and reseal it. Been my experience, tire boys don't know how to do that and can't get them to seal up anyway. So you waste 2 hours and however much they charge you and your wheel still leaks. But before we get into all that, let's see if we can see what's up with our dash lights and fuel gauge. Alright, I think I'm onto something under there with why the dash lights don't work. And possibly the fuel gauge. There's a couple. One blade on the connector was bent over and not making contact, I think. So I'm going to fix that, clean up the terminals, do some testing, and see how this plays out. That's what I'm going to do. I might even put a tack in it that works right. We'll see. Not sure how well you can see in that tank. Probably can't at all. But anyway, it looks pretty good in there. We might be over the hump with the fuel filters. That thing did look nasty when I put it in, and I knew it was. But it looks pretty good now. I got the sender out. I need to test it and see if it's any good. Doesn't seem to be acting right. I think you're supposed to have 0 to 30 ohms in the sweep. Let me see what I come up with. Alright, Mrs. Heavy Chevy just called me and said, Mr. Heavy Chevy!
Water! Stop feeding!
Yeah. And there's why.
I was afraid it might be out.
There ain't none. But,
Luckily.
or at least I think, I got some more over here. What in tarnation is that?
Don't make fun.
Alright, you can see I've done some MacGyvering on this thing in the past. I welded that tube right there. Welded that back on there. Actually, I changed the whole tube. It was 5/16 originally, and I made it 3/8. And then welded the whatchamajigger there, the sender on. I thought I had it working. I just ohmed it out, and it works, but it seems to have dead spots. Maybe it's just dirty. I'm gonna pry that off there, or prise that off her, and see what I see. Alright, that's what the inside of it looks like. That little contact, I'm talking to the camera. That little contact right there rubs on that right there as the float cycles up and down and changes the reading on the gas gauge. That seems to work, at least intermittently. So I'm going to clean it up, put it back together, see what happens. Okay, I feel really stupid right now, and let me tell you why. You hear that? The float is full of gasolina. That's why it's always empty. Everything tests okay, but it's always empty. Alright, let me see if I got another one of them. I don't think I do. I just heard engine revving, tires squealing, and then a little bang off in the distance. Could it be a young hot rodder lost it? I don't know. Alright, here's what I found. I found this old sending unit. I think that's out of a Jeep, maybe. Grand Wagoneer. But what's important to me is it has a plastic float on the end of it, which appears to be the same as this old brass one, and it doesn't sound sloshy inside. So I'm gonna pop that off there and put it on here and see what's up, yo. That fits pretty slick. So there you go. There's a 66 Chevy Hack. if you got a sending unit out of a Jeep Wagoneer, the little plastic floaty fits right on in place of your little leaky brass one. Okay, moving right along. Alright, I got everything. Well, no, I don't either. Let me come back in a second so that what I tell you is the actual truth. Alright, now I won't be lying. I hooked the wires up. Got a couple bolts in the sender. Let's see what happens. I'm also reminded, you know, a couple years ago I did this cold starts video. It was cold starts, yep, cold. It's got 1 million views now, which flabbergasts me. But one guy commented the other day, he said, one truck wouldn't start because it didn't have any gas in it, dummy. And that was this one. But what he doesn't realize is the gas gauge did not function. So, who's the dummy, I ask ya? Alright, let's see what happens. Hey, it's about 3/4 full. And it went to about 3/4. Now, you could see the gauge was up a little bit. I already put the center in and turned it on. It only went to half, and that's because I put the float in on the wrong side. It was getting hung on the side of the gas tank. So I took it back apart and hooked it up correctly. So, we got a gas gauge now. And I won't have to be a dummy on video. Isn't that nice? Alright, I'm going to put the rest of the little bolts in there, tighten it all down. And while I've got the line disconnected there, I'm going to replace the fuel filter under the truck, which doesn't seem to be clogging up as quickly as in the past, which is good. What is it, a kitty?
Is that what it looks like to you?
That's what my mind says. It looks like a lion, but it's missing part of its mane. Or maybe it fell down here. But you know what they say?
What?
You don't supposed to never weld on springs.
Why?
Well, if you're going to use them in your car.
Okay. Well, this thing's going to be used in the car, so I think we're okay.
Let's identify the parts, shall we?
Hold on. Hold on. He's off. A little bit of lopsided there.
Them were lug nuts from an import car. One of them ones that go bleh, bleh, the road.
Putting them to good
That's
use.
a little thing from big truck air brakes. It's a little roller shoes set in. I don't know what you call it. I think that's a fan clutch off a Caterpillar and a Sterling dump truck. I forget the model number. Connecting rods and pistons from a 396. That's part of a whatchamadoodle pick up blocks of ice, I think. That's a spring. I don't know what it's out of. Where'd you find that at?
Trunk pile.
Oh, I know what it is. It's the rear spring from the 66.
Ah.
And then those are the shock hangers from the 66, the upper ones. And that's an exhaust pipe off that dang Ford I used to have.
Maybe Little Miss will be glad I used the parts.
There's no telling, she's 16, what she's going to be glad about. Horn blows. Now we're going to go for a ride in the old Brown truck, which has a rattle in the muffler. I had to do this again because Mama started scolding the boys there, so, you know. Pretty nice truck. Listen to that. Alright, here we are in the old brown Chevy. Got the AC cranking. Look who's sitting beside me. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, we're going to a buddy's house. We've ditched all the kids. And it's
Well, some of them ditched us.
kind of like old times.